Okay, so today, guys, I am joined with the gorgeous, fabulous ElectraSnow.
Hello, hello.
Hi, how are you, darling?
I'm fine, I'm very well.
So I've invited Miss Gorgeous Electra here to talk about some gender fluidity and sexuality because you are, in fact, gender fluid.
I am, and there's a few other aspects to my sexuality as well, which not many people really know.
You are a lot more along the path of, like, your gender, like, if that makes any sense. Like, you have come out ages ago, you've accepted it ages ago, like, and I mean, now you look like this practically all the time. How did you know that you were different? Like, what was the defining moment when you were like, this is what it is? Like, how did you find out?
For me, it wasn't really like a defining moment kind of thing. Like, I'm a hairdresser and a makeup artist as my profession kind of thing. So I'm always around, like, crazy coloured hair and people that wear loads of makeup and stuff like that. So I kind of just started bringing the things which people perceive as feminine, as like makeup and hair, into my own life and expressing it through my body. So it was kind of just like a slow progression for me, like expressing my gender in different ways. I didn't really know a name for it. I was just a guy wearing makeup. You think, oh, am I trans? Am I trans this or not? But then you find out there's other things like androgynous and non-binary and gender fluid, and they're the kind of things that kind of I latch onto and used to describe myself.
Was it a difficult thing to accept? Like, did you get much like hate or anything? Like, what was
No, like I've never been somebody that kind of struggles with it, because I say I've always been surrounded by it with the job that I do. It's always a thing, like if you're a guy wearing makeup, people are always going to be like, what the fuck are you doing, kind of thing, because it's just one of those things, like it's perfectly fine for a girl to wear boys' clothes, but when a guy wears girls' clothes, there's only derogative terms to describe it. There's not like a tomboy kind of thing. It's always like transvestite or tranny or stuff like that. It's always,
there isn't actually a word to describe.
There's not a term to describe it apart from like an offensive slur.
How was your coming up process with your parents and like anything else? Like how did that happen? Did you come out in school? Did you come out like...
I came out in school. I came out at the age of 15. For a lot of people at the time, obviously I didn't look like this in school and I didn't express my gender.
He was a chav in school.
Theoretically I looked like a chav.
Hashtag extreme chav.
I had like short spiky hair. This is going to sound like stereotypical, but I don't necessarily feel that I'm camp. And for a lot of people it was a surprise that I was gay, because they never really thought it was just, oh, that's just John. Like I was never like a outlandish, like extrovert.
And when he says it,
remember,
now. I want to clarify again.
Yeah.
Didn't look like this.
Didn't look like this at all. Because I know, this is the thing.
You're gay!
Literally, whenever I say to people were shocked that I came out as being gay. They're like, oh yeah, you lying, bitch, because like, look at you. And really, I got more respect than anything. It was about 90% decent people, and then there was like, obviously you get the few people like, oh, you're a faggot and stuff like that. But no, I had a lot more respect for doing it.
See, I wish that was for me, because I had a horrific time in school. Like I was beaten up practically every single day, and I'm very flamboyant, darling. So, and I've always been like it. Even though I tried to hide it in school, I was always still very hiya. Like I just could not mask it.
And you asked me questions about parents as well. I never actually sat my parents down and gone, Mum, Dad, I'm gay, which I don't feel I need to do. It's obvious that I like guys, for fuck's sake, and I've spoken about it with my mum and dad and stuff like that. It's aware. But this will lead on to a question that she'll probably ask me as well.
I will be, yeah.
I don't necessarily actually fully identify as being homosexual. I identify as being demisexual. And that is the aspect where you're attracted to an emotional connection with someone. And so far in my life, I've only ever been attracted to guys, but I'm open-minded to the fact that it's entirely possible, because I have that attraction to an emotional connection, that I could feel like that towards a woman. There's a spectrum to sexuality just like there is gender. There is people who identify straight, but they'll still have sex with men, but they can still be straight. You had sex with a woman, which you have. You're still gay, but you've had sex with a woman. Like, because I'm quite a level-grounded person with gender and everything. I'm always like, well, it's how we're the same, not how we're different.
Yeah.
When, for example, if a gay guy's talking about a straight guy, it's always a fact of, oh, what if we could do this to him? What if we could do that to him? You don't know you're not gay until you've tried it. But then if you think of that on the other hand, like if a straight guy goes to a gay guy, or you don't know if they've had sex with a woman, there's always like a problem with it. Like you have to be open-minded to both sides of the coin with stuff like that.
A big question that I always get all the time is, you know, how do I identify as gay and gender fluid? Assuming it changes, but like
apples and oranges, gender and sexuality are two entirely
completely different things. Like I know it can be confusing. I know that it is obviously it is strange. But like I will always identify as a gay person. You know, for me, I have male genitals. I like male genitals. Like that's always going to be the case. And I will always identify myself as a gay person. Like I will never say that I'm a straight woman.
With your gender, as I say, me being demisexual, you could fall in love with anyone. You could get attracted to anybody. You may not be actively seeking it, as I said, but it could like shock you. And if you think of other aspects of gender, could you be attracted to a trans male?
See, I don't know. So that's like
that's it. At the moment, you don't know, because it's not something that's come into your life or like affected you yet. But who knows? It could happen.
I feel like if someone was trans, because I'm a bottom as well, like, so like if someone is trans, like I would need them to have a penis. I know what I like to do and everything, and like I would need a penis, like...
Yeah, that's fair enough. That means you know what you want in things.
How do you find the public react to you when you are out? Because I said to Callum the other day, I said, it's really funny because now I sort of like become blanked by it. Like I don't actually notice so much people like looking. However, if I consciously look for the reaction of people, they stare.
Yes.
Like if I go outside in my heels, my face done, they stare.
I'm fine with people looking, but when it gets to the point and when they're like, as you're walking past, it's literally like this. If you're gonna look different, people are going to look.
Yeah.
That is a thing, and it's like I'm saying, like...
Well, yeah, I can't be surprised, like when I got my eye contacts and I got obviously my piercing and stuff, like I can't be surprised that people look at you because like, but as long as it, like...
It's how they do it.
It sounds stupid, but there's a respectful stare.
Yes.
Like it's like, okay, but but as you said, when it's like they literally turn their head and they're like, what the fuck?
They're literally snapping their neck to keep looking at you as you're walking.
They're being the Exorcist girl.
Yeah, literally. Their heads are just twisting and twisting and twisting.
So that is rude. The stupid thing is, I bet there is a lot more straight masked men who would love to wear makeup. Just to, wear makeup in general, but society says it's not right.
Not necessarily go full face like I'm doing, but just not have that stigma for the fact if a guy wakes up and has got razor rash, or a guy's got oily skin, the fact that he could just wear a little bit of makeup to make himself feel happier and more comfortable.
But then all of a sudden you're labelled as gay.
Yeah, but then it's like, society's thing of like, oh, you're just a gay man. People want to do things to make themselves happy. If you really want to put it down to like the base factors, like men wear blue, girls wear pink. You see, that's the thing. Colour is a huge thing which people justify sexuality and gender upon before you've even put any of the frosting on top of the cake.
It's fucking stupid.
It's just colour. I think Callum made a comment on this on Twitter like a few months ago, where it's in the future, the next generation will be like, when people ask you what gender is the baby, it will be like, the answer will be, I don't know yet, I've not asked them.
What people don't know is like, you need to be visible. People
Yes.
I've been so scared to really show this kind of side of me for so long because I was in a place where it wasn't really accepted, and the thing is, nothing will change if everyone just does it secretly in their home. Like you need to go out, you need to show that there are a lot more people like this out there, so people can see that actually this is a normal thing.
Yeah,
like,
but then you get some people which are on the back burner of that, which then class it as we're shoving it down their throat. We're not shoving it down your throat, because at no point do I go out to be like, yeah, look at me, like, not at all.
You just walk around.
I just do what I want to do and do this to make myself feel happy. Yeah. If it gets down your throat, that's your problem. I don't give a shit about people's acceptance. No. I don't do this for anybody else apart from me. I think you stand by as well. It's the fact of do whatever makes you happy and don't let anybody tell you not to be you because you have old Roly and Gasha, #dead.
What do you find some of the most hardest things to deal with?
Probably if some days I wake up and I want to be more extroverted and more flamboyant, is the getting ready time. Because I do this when I'm here with these guys. These guys are like up, ready within about 10 minutes. I'm sitting there and I've just got one eyebrow on. Like, it's to the point where they're leaving, like, oh, we're going now. And I'm I'll meet you there in about 2 hours. Yeah. That's one of the hardest things.
For me, the stupid things I always find the most difficult when it comes to this is actually getting people to believe me. The amount of people that just say I'm lying, or they just say, but I can't be what I am gender fluid, and people don't agree with me because I'm like, I look like this. For me, I find that people seem to think if you identify as something that isn't cis or you're trans or anything, you have to look like androgynous. You have to look in the middle, else you're lying. Like, I can't help the fact that I have a male face. That is not my fault. It's just like saying to someone, you're not bisexual, you're gay.
Yeah,
like,
which really annoys me. But I get that on the other side of the coin, where people will say that I'm just transgender and I want to become a woman. I enjoy being able to look more feminine, but I still identify as a guy. I still accept male pronouns, and I also still accept female pronouns, but I think mine's the opposite way around for me, because I'm more outwardly looking like it, they'll just perceive me as wanting to be a woman.
I said in a video before that, the longer I am going down this path, the less I do enjoy masculine sides of me, but when it comes to my outer shell, I am happy the way I was born.
I'm the kind of person that as I'm getting older, I can see that things are becoming more masculine, and I want to stay in that middle playing ground. And for example, recently I've just started to have my beard lasered. When does it become like a problem? And this is kind of a sore subject to talk about. It has to be approached delicately, about being somebody who isn't necessarily trans, but is in the non-binary non-binary thing, taking either hormones or testosterone blockers, anti-androgens, to be able to stay how you want to look as a gender non-binary person.
See, that's a really interesting thing to talk about, but what we're gonna do is go over to John's channel and talk about that on his channel. So I'll put a link down below right at the top so you can go over to John's channel and check out that video that we're gonna talk about hormones and all that kind of stuff. So we're gonna leave it there, so please hit the like button because that's really helped me out. Follow us on all of our social medias and we will see you over on John's channel. Bye!